Hi guys, this is Ola from Cardbond and you are welcome to the last in the assembly series for our ship wheel project. So I'll quickly say thank you for sticking around till the very end, and hopefully you enjoyed all that you have seen so far. And at the end of the day, we are going to have something that looks just like this. Alright, so let's get into this. Alright. So in this particular video, I would say that we are going to be modifying one of the parts that we have. And I would say also that the only reason why we're doing this is because we would like to kind of simplify what how do I put it? Just to simplify the process. It could be done in another way, but in my case, the particular part or component I'm talking about is the one called circle, which was created in page 7. So the reason why we want to modify this is because if you take a look at the page 3 of 18 detail C, we have holes there that help us to know where our nails are going to be imputed, as shown in page 2 of 18. So it's going to be all nailing this circle part to the other components that we have assembled together. So to do this, we could simply insert our nails and just position them, but I think positioning them that way might be a little bit stressful. So what I would like to do is to modify this using the detail C on page 3 to add the holes to this component. Alright, so for us to do that, we know that what we did initially was just to create a sketch and then we extruded it upwards. So to modify this, we just go back to sketch instead of creating something new and let's say cutting holes into it. So we just go back to sketch and say edit sketch. We pick circle and I'll draw a small circle around here. We would make the diameter of this circle to be drawn to be the same diameter of our hole, of our nail, which is 2. So we say 2 millimeters for diameter of the hole. And I'll draw another circle here and say this is also 2 millimeters in diameter. The next thing to do would be to position this properly. So previously we didn't create a construction line, so I'll do that right now at the center of this, going upwards this way. And we place our dimensions. Dimension between this and this hole as seen on page 3 detail C. Let's see, so it's supposed to be 10 with reference to the handle, but since the handle thickness is 40, alright, so it's 20 on one side, 20 the other way, so this is going to be 10 also. I'm sorry for explaining it this way, but hopefully the things that I show on the screen can make you understand it better. So this is also going to be 10 in distance, horizontal distance. Next we would say the distance between this and this. Now we take note that using detail C, it says that the distance between the top surface or top circle and the center of this hole is 13. Hence what we're going to do is we would say distance here to here is going to be, let's see, what's the overall radius of this? 849. So 849 divided by 2 minus 13. I'm sorry. So put a bracket, 849 divided by 2 minus 13. And say enter. Alright, and we also repeat the same for the bottom, which is this and this center. And for this would say Let's see. So the diameter of the other one is 749. So we say bracket 749 divided by 2, bracket close, 13. Alright, so in essence, this is what we have created. I'll try to make it clearer for us to see. And as you can see in this description I have made here now, and to explain to us how I came across this or came about these dimensions here. So we have simple arithmetic here. With all that, our next step is going to be to pattern these circles all around. So we go over to create circular pattern, and we would select on 1 and 2, holding control or just selecting, and then our center point would be this point. Alright, the number of instances that we have is let's see, 96 divided by 2 equals 48, divided by 2 equals 24. So we have it patterned 24 times which is a lot, but we keep that in mind. So what we do is we change these to 24. With that, we say OK, and we finish our sketch. So what we do is we go back to this extrusion and say edit feature. Take note that we haven't created extra features yet, so all we need to do is we cancel this profile and select on this single profile without selecting the circles there. Now we notice that we have our hole, so I'll just say OK, and then we have the holes automatically inserted here. We go ahead to save our file as a new version, version 3, and then we can open our assembly file and bring in our last saved file. We open that afresh. I cancel this, remove the circle version 3. So we go back to the data panel, ship wheel, and I insert our circle and say insert into current design. With this inserted into our current design, I can cancel and say OK. I guess I'll bring in our nail also. So we'll bring in 2 nails, insert into current design. It is located somewhere here, so I'll just move it outwards so we can see it later. I bring in another nail, insert into current design, and also move this a little bit so we can see it later, and I'll say OK. So what we're going to do, I'll cancel this and place constraints between this circle with our part here, assembly joint, and I would select on the bottom face, which is this circle. I'll select on the circle, so it selects the center of the circle as we can see, and I would select one of these edges here on the top face of this arc. So when we do that, it applies the cylindrical constraints to both. However, if your cylindrical constraint is not selected here, then you can change it, and if the position is wrong, then you can always go over here to flip it over. So this is what we want, and I'll say OK. With that done, the next thing for us to do is simply to place our constraints between the circle and our nails. So we begin by selecting joint. I'll select also this part. I want the center of that circular feature there to be constrained to one of these. So let's say this hole here, in this manner. Alright, so since it's a nail and then the other bodies within are wooden, so we do not need to create holes there. I'll apply and repeat the same for this second one, joint. I want the center of this to be aligned to the center of this hole here using a cylindrical constraint. Alright, so with these two, we would like to repeat what we just did to the base part of our work. So what we're going to do is that we'll simply let's say take this backward a little bit on the tree before the pattern, so that when we create our mirror we don't have to select all of the components one by one. So what we'll do is we'll create a mirror. It should be under create mirror. We want to mirror components, so I would say the objects to mirror, we want this, we want the nails, the two nails, and our mirror plane, taking a look at our front view, is going to be this top plane here. So with that selected, we are mirroring what we have on top to the bottom also, as we can see. So I'll say OK, and then we have the nails at the base together with the circle. So now that we've mirrored this, we can go ahead to move our tree in front of the pattern. Alright, so what we have here is that this C pattern has only created the pattern for the nails on top, so we'll just repeat that. We could edit this, but sometimes it takes a long while, so what I'll just do is just to create a new pattern, I guess, or rather let me delete this pattern and create a new one afresh. Pattern, circular pattern, and so I'll just select all of those nails, the 4 nails, which is both nails on top and both nails below. So this is the nails below, and these here are the nails above. So with this, our axis, just like we did previously, and I select on this, say 24 instances, and OK. So this is what we have. Now if you notice, we're done. We could switch off our joints so that they do not bombard our screen. Let's see, I guess the joints are still open in other places, so we still have the joints for this part, I guess, visible. Anyway, so we have this, leave that alone. So what we have now is our ship wheel. To finish, I'll just show you something. If you go over to inspect and say interference, we notice that let's say the only interference that we should have should be between the nails and these bodies. Let's say something like this. So I'll just select a few of them, and if I say compute, then we notice that we have interferences here in this point here. Alright. So with all of this done, we are concluded with our model, and we can save our part. So I hope that you've enjoyed this so far. If you have or had any challenges in the process of this, please do not hesitate to place it in the comment section. I like to reply, so please do. And when you're done, you can also upload to your Instagram and tag me on it, so I could see what you've done. And this is my Instagram handle, Set Ola. It's like a French handle name. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, yes, I guess you should do so, because I have some other interesting things coming up soon. If you enjoyed this project so far, you can go ahead to share this with your friends who are also trying to learn Fusion 360, and share as wild as possible, as wild as you can, and as wide as you can. Now I'll catch you guys in the next one.